Hello everybody, welcome to podcast 14. Today is going to be a blast, mind-blowing experience for all of you. Today I'm going to introduce you to the person that you may have or you may not have seen, but the knowledge you need to grab it on spot. Ready for that? Can you give that commitment? So Parth Upadhyaya sir, the youngest Mumbaiker to climb Mount Everest, professional mountaineer, motivational speaker, mountain fitness coach, adventure photographer, ultra runner, travel writer, skier. On 23rd May 2019, Sir climbed Mount Everest and became the youngest person from Mumbai to do so. So Sir is passionate about climbing mountains and everything that is great outdoors and nature has to offer. Sir has completed over 800 treks across Himalayan mountain ranges, Sahyadri's ranges in Maharashtra, desert treks in Rajasthan, and forest treks in Karnataka. In addition, Sir is also motivational speaker like me. Do you agree? Just kidding, because it is individual, process, and if you want to, believe that even I can, you cannot compare with Sir, but we both are together. Then yes, and Sir shares knowledge, and Sir shares their experience towards his mountain climbing. So without any further delay, let's call upon Parth Upadhyaya, Sir. Hello, Sir.
Hello, brother.
How are you doing
What's
today,
up?
sir? I'm so excited, and
Yeah,
it is going to be an amazing, mind-blowing experience for me and also to all the audiences who are watching us live.
let's see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a great, pleasure for me to invite you and to welcome you to the podcast, sir. First of all, thank you for
Likewise.
accepting this.
You're very welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you so much. So let's start off with the podcast. So when we take you back to your childhood, sir. So when did you love for mountains and adventure begin?
I remember this very clearly. It was during the vacation of my 10th board exams, and my father was watching news coverage here in this house itself. And one fine random evening, he calls me in and says that, see, here is a news coverage of a 16-year-old boy from India who has climbed Everest. You are 15, he's 16. Look what all he has done in his life, kind of a thing. I sat, watched the news, and the way that guy was explaining his experiences, something happened to me. I was like, wow, he's my age. He's climbed Everest. He is not worried about marks. He's not worried about, all the things that I'm worried about. He is living a different, more real life. Somehow it felt real. He lives in the real world. It felt like that. And I lived in a fake, made up world of marks and exams and blah, blah, blah. I told my father, even I want to climb Everest. He looked at me and he said, तेरे से 10th का एग्जाम्स तो क्लियर होने वाला है नहीं. So एवरेस्ट की कहाँ बात कर रहा है. But then he signed me up for a trek on the weekend, upcoming weekend. He was like, go for a day trek. I'm like, okay, sure. Anyways, I was doing nothing. And I went for this trek to a place called Mount Kalsubai, which is the highest peak of Maharashtra.
Oh,
And I saw the sun rising from the top of that mountain. It was a night trek. And when I saw the sunrise, I could only think of the sunrise that 16-year-old boy who had climbed Everest would have seen from top of the world. And I was like, if sunrise from this, Kalsubai is so beautiful,
mm,
I want to see the sunrise from the top of the world also. And that is when I somehow promised myself, no matter what it takes, I'm gonna see the sunrise from the top of the world. And that's how it started. It took me 9 years, but 23rd May 2019 at 5 in the morning, I did see that sunrise. So 2010 to 2019, it was a long roller coaster ride, but a beautiful circle of life came about when I saw that sunrise, which I had dreamed of at the age of 15.
Amazing, beautiful, sir. So, how was
Hmm.
your childhood? To ask.
Yeah, but my childhood was very ideal, I would say. Ideal, ideal in the sense, no, no hardships as such. Parents ensured that. Thankful always, for that, providing that base on which I could dream about all these things. But exams wise, marks wise, study wise, I was never a academically smart child. I'm very smart. I'm probably might sound arrogant, but I'm more smart, street smart than most PhD people. Street smart, life smart.
Yes, yes,
But when it comes to studying and marks and exams, I was like a complete opposite, barely passing kind of a kid. And because of this, then when you are young, at that age, when you are a child, everybody around you tells you that, oh, it's marks, which is important. And that's the one thing you are not able to do, right? Marks ही नहीं आ रहे. And then you develop this sense of that you are not good enough. And that goes so deep in a child when this sense is there for years and years and years. And maybe because of that, I had to climb Everest to prove myself that no, I'm not that bad. I'm good. I can do things also.
yes,
So, yeah, people ask me why I climb mountains. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to prove something to the world. Maybe I'm trying to prove something to myself. I don't know. Many reasons. But yeah, I was very couldn't find my place in this world when I was a child because marks nahi aa rahe, and then everybody was trying to tell me how stupid I am and how I should work hard, how I should focus. I was seeing that I could focus on other things better than most other idiots around me. But when it comes to focusing on studies, I just couldn't focus. So that was, yeah. And I
yes,
was not at all into sports. Not at all. Nothing. Zero. Zero. Nothing interesting I was doing in my life. And then at the age of 15, I went to the mountains and things changed for me.
great, amazing. So now, when you took out this topic of marks, now this generation kids where they don't like this marks and they don't like these studies. So even I don't like to tell honestly. And when my mom sees this podcast, when I say I don't like marks, no, she'll scold me behind, right?
No, no,
So
no. See, it's not about marks. It's about learning to put in that effort. That's a life skill.
yes,
To be disciplined towards something. This is something that school teaches you. To wake up on time,
yes,
to be respectful, to study and show your discipline via study. See, when you grow up, you have to show your discipline in some other things. When you
yes,
are young, you can show your discipline through studies. So it's a life skill that you learn when you are in the school. I don't want to make your mother upset. That's why I'm saying this. No, but no, see, there was a time in this world when marks was everything, right? When there were very few career options, right? That was
yes,
the reality of the world back then, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's just how the world was. Now, more than degrees and certificates, people see how much skill do you have. Are you skilled? If you have the skills, they don't look at uh, how much marks you got. Like, for example, I'll give you a example, okay? After my engineering, I again, terrible marks. Barely passed, failed multiple times in many exams. When I went for job interview after my in the last semester, just by looking at my confidence, they offered me job. They were like, marks are okay, fine. You are a smart guy. You speak well. You're confident. You think on your feet. We like that. More than people who have scored 90%. I got the job. I didn't take it. That's a different thing, whole different story. But now it's all skill based, right? And even you know that. But our parents also are slowly realizing it that now times are changing very fast, and we have to be patient with them and try to explain them in a way that they will understand, and not try to say like, oh, parents don't understand me. No, no, they understand. They are thinking of your good only. But
yeah,
times are changing, and they need to change their, they need to broaden their eyes and see the
Yes.
reality as it is.
Yeah, amazing. What inspired you to set the goal of climbing Mount Everest at the age of 15?
As I told you, no, I wanted to see the sunrise from the top of the
Oh,
world,
yes.
and that was the news coverage that I saw. And Everest is in so many ways symbolism of highest achievements, for a human being. It is literally the top of the world, so it has always had that attraction. you know it's the top of the world. That imagination fires up like, oh, I'll go to the top of the world. And in that process you become a better and better human being, in the process of preparing for it. That process itself is a beautiful journey. And yeah, that trek I decided to climb Everest.
So, did you grow up in a family of adventures, or was this your passion? Now, you had explained that no, age of 15, your father said no, the television thing. So, what were you born in a adventurous family, or how?
My past 5 generations have been doctors.
Oh,
So I was the one who broke the chain, and people were not very happy about it. But then, I'll tell you one thing. As a child in the school, when we had the PT period, the physical training period, like, 1 hour a day, something like that, I used to hate it. It used to not let me sleep the night before that tomorrow we have the PT period. I used to hate it so much. I hated to move my body. I hated to run because, as I said, I was not getting marks. And because of that, people looked at me as some stupid idiot, you know. And then I used to try to hide myself as much as possible in the classroom. And then when you are out there on the playground, you are out there in front of everybody. You have to interact with everybody. You have to gel with everybody. And I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I hated it. So I used to hide myself in the corner somewhere, try to not run and try to not, move my body and try to not meet people. That's how less of self confidence of, sorry, that's how lack of self confidence I had. Ki I'm good for nothing. I can't even talk to anybody. I don't have the guts to even, speak to kids my age because they were getting 90%. They were getting 95%. So, in their world, they were geniuses. And me, here I was, who couldn't do one thing that I was asked, which was to get marks. So, because of that, I used to be completely away from sports also. And nothing interesting I used to do. And people who grow up playing sports,
mm,
for them it's very easy to naturally
yes,
transition into climbing mountains, for example, because they've grown up their foundational years, they've played and moved their body. I have not. So the
yes,
foundation was not there. Most people don't understand this. The foundation was not there. So what I could not build in the early years, through my extra hard work, I had to build it when I was preparing for climbing mountains. So
mm,
that was the extra amount of hard work I needed to do. And now if I stop training, because the foundation is not there, the building of training that I've done will fall very fast if I stop training. So that's a disadvantage that I have now, that I have to keep training. Otherwise, I will go down, I will go reverse very fast. So no background as such in my family or anywhere of climbing mountains, but somewhere I saw that mountains are a great tool to explore myself,
yes,
how strong I am, what are my limits, and what is this life about. You
mm,
can't explore it just through thoughts, just by reading books.
mm,
People who think that they know life by reading books and by listening to whatever philosophy and whatever philosopher, they are the most delusional idiots you will find on this world. They know everything, but they've experienced nothing. To
yes,
know life, you have to experience life. You have to explore various dimensions of life, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. There are different tools to experience that.
mm,
Some can experience it through dancing. Somebody can experience it through singing. Like if you look at, people like Michael Jackson, you suddenly know that when they are performing, they are in touch with the divine source.
yes,
For them, dancing is the tool. For some people, painting is a tool. For some people, running is a tool to explore themselves. And for
Yes.
me, I found mountain is a tool. Mountain is my sadhana. In there is this word in yogic culture, sadhana. That
Yes.
is in English, if you translate it, it's tool. Sadhan means tool. And when you use tool, that is sadhana. So you're using various tools according to your nature to explore your life, to understand what this life is all about. Maybe that is why I climb mountains. So, yeah, no background as such. Yeah.
Amazing, beautiful, sir. So I had told the audience that make notes because you're gonna learn something today which is very knowledgeable. So this was just mind blowing.
I'm gonna interject here and oppose what you just told. Don't make notes. Be with me fully. There is nothing that you can note from my conversation. Be with me. Try to align with my mindset. And when that alignment happens in your day to day action, something will change. Noting
So
down,
don't make notes. So as sir
don't
said,
make.
do it.
Be with me.
Yes,
Be with
be
me.
with
Focus
sir.
on me.
Yes, amazing, beautiful. So how did people around you react when you first shared your dream?
Yeah, absolutely. Are when in a society where people expect you to do, especially as I said in the earlier years, like before 1 decade, when I passed out of my college, everybody expected me to do job. That's all I was ever told, that get a nice degree, get a nice job, you'll get paid well, the company will give you the house, the company will give you the car, they will pay your bills, and then you'll get a nice girl, she will marry you for your money, and then you'll get a nice kid, you'll raise them well because you have good money. That's how the whole education and the conditioning has been for most people. It takes, I don't know what it takes actually. It takes intelligence to see that this is all a lie. And it takes observation to see this is all a lie. Why? All those people who are advising me, all those 40, 50-year-old idiots who are advising me, why I'm saying they're idiots? Because I look at their life. They don't seem very happy. They don't seem very joyful. I'm more joyful than them without a job right now. So technically, as I grow in life, as I get the job and the money and the wife, I should become more and more and more joyful, isn't it?
Yes,
That's how the progression of life should be. But no, the more they grow old, the more their face becomes sad and stressed and depressed and body gets sick. Why? These are questions I used to ask myself, that okay, they are saying something. Has it worked for them? No, it's not worked for them clearly. So why would I listen to them? So I used to always question. Questioning is the number one thing to get closer to the truth of that matter, of that aspect, whatever you are exploring. Ask questions, 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 till the point there are no questions left. Then you are through and through. So I used to ask myself this question. What was your initial question? What did you ask? The reaction of people around me. Yeah.
yes,
Well, the only reaction that mattered was parents, right? Because all the other people are just
behind simply.
noise
Yeah.
behind simply. Like it's dog's nature to bark. You don't pay attention to barking dog, do you? No, you don't. You're like,
No.
hey, it's barking. Idiot. Let him bark. It's like this. For me, it's like this. No disrespect to anybody, but that's how I look at the world. Parents, yes, you have to listen to them because they are the only ones who give you genuine advice for your own good. So every concern that they had, it was my job to address the concern. Like I'm not stupid. As I said, I don't get marks, but I'm very smart. Okay. I was like, okay, parents are saying something, let's listen to it logically without getting emotion, without getting full of emotion, like, oh, why you don't support me, it's my dream, my goal, my life, let me live. No, 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 these are all signs of losers. Only losers will fight with their parents, really. If it's
Yes.
a smart person, you will see what is their concern. Okay, their concern was, in my case, how will I earn money, and will I be safe in the mountains? Isn't that a genuine concern? Yes, it is. Of course it is. So as I passed out of my engineering, I told them, okay, how will I earn money? Good question. Give me 6 months. I'm doing something. I am starting this company. I'm starting to organize treks and trying to do various things. I told them, in 6 months, I will be earning double the money that the package was offering me.
Oh,
They said, if you are able to earn at least enough money to take care of yourself, we'll be happy. So when you address their concern, then suddenly they are part of your team.
mm,
They will support you. If you become a rebel kid, I rebel kid that yeah, I suddenly yeah reminded me of that. Yeah. Anyways, uh, you know what I'm talking about. No,
no,
the
I
controversy.
didn't
No,
get
it's
you.
okay. No problem. Better like that. And I was like, rather than being a rebel, it's better to have them on my team so that we can work together. So when I told them this, they were like, okay. They gave me 6 months, and I proved myself to be, person of my word. Safety aspect, well, they will never completely be okay with it because it's dangerous for people to
Yes,
climb mountains, and no parent would willingly. But now, after years of climbing, they've seen that I don't take stupid decisions in the mountains, and I am very careful. I prioritize safety over anything in the mountains. So years of showing this have given them a little confidence that okay, he's responsible in the mountains. And yeah, that is how I convinced my parents. And I say this one thing, I'll end this answer with one thing. If you are not able to convince your parents,
mm,
you will never be able to convince anybody in the world. Trust me. Because
yes,
if you are convincing your parents, if you have been able to convince your parents, it means your plan is foolproof.
yes, right. Amazing. So, what were the biggest challenges in preparing for Everest?
Yeah, the biggest challenge was the world around me.
Okay.
The world around me, nobody was in the world around me, nobody was people who were training for mountains. So the biggest challenge was to find people who were climbing mountains.
Mm,
And back then, 2012, 13, 14, very less people from Maharashtra or Mumbai were actively into mountaineering. And I didn't ever meet a Everest climber till 2015.
okay.
So the biggest challenge was to find a mentor, to find a guide who can actually, show me what needs to be done. Here and
Yeah.
there, I used to get advices, but never enough. So I was someone who was trying to explore things my way, try error, not try to repeat it. And that's how like, for example, I wanted to do a trek in 2014, my first Himalayan trek. Somebody said you need to be fit. I'm like, sure. What to do? That idiot said, run. Running is best. I'm like, okay. I started running every day. Every day, one hour, 1.5 hour every day. Then within 2 months, I lost so much muscle mass that I started falling sick very early.
Oh,
Like I used to fall sick every 15 days. I used to be sick, like some cough, some cold, some fever. Parents were like, suddenly, why is he losing weight? What is happening? Why does he keep getting sick? Then I went to the doctor, and doctor was like, what happened to you? Like you were so okay, normal person, and now all bones, like shoulder gone, muscle gone, everything gone. I'm like, I don't know. Then he was asking me, what do you do? Like, what is your daily activity? Like, I
mm,
run a lot. He's like, run a lot? How much do you run? I'm like, 1.5 hour every day, 7 days a week. He's like, Arey, you will die like this. So, point being, I had no guidance.
mm,
Whatever little I heard, I used to go full throttle. Conviction I had always. So if somebody says walk in this direction, I will walk till I fall dead. I'm that guy. I if somebody who knows more than me,
mm, mm,
I take them seriously, okay? Like he's saying something. So that's how I was, and that was the hardest part. And then eventually, as I went about training for Everest, the second challenge was raising the money
Okay.
to climb that mountain. It takes, I don't know if you guys, if you know, it takes 35, 40 lakh rupees to climb Everest. Yeah, it's that
Yeah.
expensive. So that raising the money was a whole different challenge. But then again, there are two types of people in the world. 99% people, the loser category, they give excuses. I'm not able to do this because I don't have support, because world doesn't support me, because I don't know people, because.
Mm.
Excuse giving people, victim mentality people, born to be losers. Sorry to say that so harshly. 1% people, problems are there. Fine. Let's find solutions.
Mm.
Problems are there. Okay. Rather than bitching about it, rather than crying over it, rather
Yes.
than hiding behind excuses, if you really want it, you will find a way. You will find a way to make it happen.
Yes.
Simple. Bigger your goal, more challenges will be there. Right?
Right.
Two options here then. Either you sit down and cry like a little bitch, sorry, like a little loser, or you go out there, find solutions. And there is no problem in the world which has no solutions.
Yes.
No problem. The question is, how bad do you want it? And how much are you willing to struggle for it? How much are you willing to sacrifice for it? And how much are you willing to give up your own life for? If you really want something that badly, there is always a solution. I'm a living example for that. At the age
Yes.
of 21,
Right.
22, I knew nothing, I knew nobody. Still, I went out there in the world. Actions, 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 actions. Raw action solves everything. Rather
Yes.
than thinking too much, go out there and act. Make mistakes. No problem. You'll learn. You won't die. What's the worst? You'll hear no. I won't give you money, for example. That's the worst thing you will hear. You won't die.
Yeah.
So people are
Right.
too afraid of trying. People are too afraid of rejections. Like such a such a false sense of ego that they have. Like, oh, what if they say no? Are who the hell are you? You are nobody. Beggars can't be choosers. For me, my goal was much bigger than my ego. So
Yes.
whatever problems came, I went head on, man. Head on. I could always see myself up there on Everest. How will it not happen? How will it not happen?
Yeah. Amazing. Beautiful, sir. No, it was just mind blowing. The things that you shared, the knowledge that you shared about these challenges that you had. So now it brought me up to ask you this question of, how important is it to have a coach or a mentor in our lives?
Absolutely. Let's look at this. Let's look at an example Sadhguru gives.
Mm.
If you have to drive from place A to place B, there are two options in today's time. You can use a GPS, 99% accuracy rate. You will reach there in time without making much mistakes. Then there are some people who will be like, why do I use GPS? Okay. Then you will try, you will go here, you will go there, you will ask somebody, they will guide you. You will ask somebody, they might not know. You will ask somebody, they will be confused and guide you in a
Mhm.
little wrong way. So these are two options, right? Very simple. If you want to really go fast in
Mhm.
life, there is no other way than having a mentor. Mentor can be in various aspects of life. You can get more fit if you have a trainer rather than working out by yourself like I did. you know, you can have a good business coach and move ahead fast in business if you have a mentor there.
Yes.
Does it mean you can't do it by yourself? You can.
Yeah.
You can, but it will just
The
take you more
motivation,
time.
I think the push is needed.
Yes. Push is needed, the right guidance is needed, and more importantly, you avoid making stupid mistakes. You avoid losing time, you avoid losing resources, and you progress faster in life. So there is no shame in having a mentor. It's very beautiful to have a mentor, and I have had a mentor in mountaineering, and I am what I am. It's because of that mentor. So I found my mentor very late in life, like after 5 6 years of climbing mountains. So
Mm-hmm.
the life before, the mentor was haphazard, like uh, sometimes here, sometimes there, sometimes up, sometimes down. With mentor, it was a steady direction, a steady pace of progress. It's extremely important. And I would say it's not just people. Like if we get a, a level deep into this rabbit hole of mentor question,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's not just about people that you can learn from. Every aspect of life can teach you something. Like for example, if you look at a kid, you can learn something. If you look at a spider, you can learn something. If you look at an ant, you can learn something. If you look at a mountain, you can learn something. Like this one thing really fascinates me about mountains. Like if you go into philosophy of it, those mountains have stood there for millions of years through most terrible times, through
Yes.
earthquakes, through daily storms, through trials and tribulations of weather, and whatever circumstances were there, mountains were unmoving there, like a rock.
Yes.
That's what they are. So these are some symbolisms which every aspect of life can eventually teach you. The question is, how keen is your attention?
Mm.
How keen is your observation towards everything?
Yes.
you know for example, I'm like this. I look at everything, and everything teaches me something. I have a cycle right in front of me here, and
Okay.
I was just thinking, I used to sit on the roads and look at cycles, and I used to think this as a kid, that, oh, two wheel, how the hell is it balancing? Because of speed. Because of
Mm.
speed. As long as you are moving in life, you are okay. The minute you
Mm.
slow down, you will wobble. The minute you stop, you will fall.
Yes.
Some symbolisms of life. Then I look at a rocket. How does the rocket escape atmosphere? Speed. If it goes slow, it will bounce off the atmosphere
Yes.
and come back down. So it is speed that I learn from these things. So many examples I can give you, man. So many examples that
So
small
even
small
a small
objects
thing you
of
can learn something new and something different.
100%.
Yes.
100%. It depends on how keen your attention is.
Yes.
And then if you have that attention which is lit up, not towards one thing, but you are attentive towards everything, then everything is your mentor.
Yes.
That's, I don't think most people will understand what I'm saying. But if they
I
do,
understood.
if even
Yes.
yes, if even if one person, for example, you try to just broaden your attention, even if one person changes this from this conversation, oh, that is what is lacking in the world today. Attention. People are too attention
Easy.
deficit. 1 minute. I'm saying 1 second, 2 second reel. If it is not interesting in 1 second, 2 second, they will scroll. Are
Yes.
that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Yes.
Unbelievable. No attention means the generation is heading down a very, very what's the word? Disastrous path, I
Yes.
would say. Let's see.
Yeah. So now when we move on and talk about our guru, that is Sadhguru. I mean, no, Sadhguru is one of the most amazing person that I have seen. So he's so humble. No, he's so spiritual. No, I love his way of communicating and speaking. So now you have met Sadhguru, right? So now how does it feel? I want to ask this. So yeah, I met
How
him.
does it
No,
feel?
yeah, met him
You met
far.
him?
No, in Coimbatore for
Ah,
Mahashivratri.
uh-huh.
Had
Yeah.
gone and I saw him far away. So that was just amazing. I wanted to just see him. For that, I went there and it was just mind blowing and it was just heart touching to me. So, how did it feel?
Hmm.
You went close to him now when I saw the reel which you had put. No, it was just amazing to see that. So, what's your experience?
Hmm. If you really want to experience what a guru is, this silence in between, those who had to understand understood. No words can ever explain what a Sadguru is. Let's not talk about this Sadguru. Let's talk about what a Sadguru means, right? Most people have heard this word for the first time through our Sadguru. But a Sadguru is, yes, well, he says this one thing: spirituality, the core of spirituality, the purpose of spirituality, the meaning of spirituality is to break your limitations, to drop your baggages, to loosen up your personality, your character, your likes, your dislikes, everything that you have been holding on that makes you an individual. The purpose is to dissolve what you think is you. This might become a little heavy answer, but it's okay. It's okay. I am still in that hangover of meeting him. So there are some things which are coming out right now. When I speak, I don't plan, but something pours from here. So it has to
Right.
come out from here. Otherwise, my brain will explode if it fills up here. So the purpose of spirituality is to lose your individual identity and to merge with the cosmic identity. It sounds very nice, it sounds beautiful, but it's very hard when you do it. Because if I tell you right now that whatever you know as yourself, I'm going to take everything away from you, you'll be like, no, 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 don't take away from me. It's mine, it's mine. I've earned it,
Yes.
it's me. Don't take away. And when I say everything, even your body, I will take it away from you. Will you let me? No, you
Mhm.
won't. You won't. So, a guru is that person
Mhm.
who takes away everything from you so that from a limited being, you become a cosmic being. And it's the most misunderstood job. Most people will never understand what a guru is because most people are not ready to let go of their identity. And a guru is a dissolving agent of your identity. That's what Sadhguru says. That I am, if you come near me, I'm like the detergent which removes the stain, it dissolves the stain. So if you come in the proximity of a real enlightened master, he's there, his energies are made in such a way that it will loosen up your personality, it will loosen up your likes and dislikes. And that can be very scary. That can be very scary to start losing everything that you thought as yourself. If I talk about myself, before I met Sadhguru, not met physically, before I was initiated by him into his practices, before that, I was very clear. I like this, I don't like this, I like mountains, I don't like oceans, blah, blah. Very clear likes, dislikes, path of life. I had decided very well what to do. When he came into my life, I thought I will do this Kriya. My life would be absolutely fulfilled. I'm already clear. I'm already achieving things. I've climbed Everest. I've been to Annapurna, blah, blah. I'm doing very well. People are appreciating me. Now I'll become more amazing. What to say? I became the most screwed up I've ever been in my life after I met him.
Oh.
Hmm. Hmm. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. A guru, his only job is to make sure that you are aligned to life's plan, not your plan. Nature, life has a plan for you, but we don't ever listen to it. We make our own silly plans based on the conditioning and education and what we consume.
Mhm.
We make our own plans and then we start going away from where life wants us to go.
mm,
For ignorant people who don't have grace of Guru, for example, they will be very happy walking on that ignorant plan of their own.
yeah,
For lifetimes, they will keep walking. For lifetimes, they will do the same things, same things, same things. I'm sure I've done it also. When a guru comes in your life, he will not let you be okay with your plan. He will align you to the he will align you to the divine plan, and that plan is same for everybody. It is towards freedom, ultimate freedom. In our
mm,
culture we call it mukti or moksha. In other culture, Christianity, they call it liberation and salvation. In Buddhism they call it nirvana. And all the cultures have their own jannat and whatever. It's all same destination, spoken by different masters in different languages. The religions have forgotten it, but our culture, our land has not forgotten it, because we have had always the grace of gurus in every generation who keep reminding us that the life's goal is liberation, nothing else. Now, if you know your life's goal is liberation, now, whatever activity you will do in this world, from business to job to marriage to climbing mountains to anything that you will do, from as small as eating food to showering, you will do it in a way that will help you move towards your liberation. From And for people who are not moving in that direction, all of these activities will
mm,
entangle them, will make them more screwed up, will make them more entangled in their life.
mm,
So it is the grace of Guru, the presence of a Guru, which breaks all your conditioning. And when your conditioning breaks, your life becomes very screwed up, because suddenly, whatever you thought was okay, whatever you thought was, this is my life's goal, all
yes,
goes away, brother. All goes away. And you are put on the divine plan, and now you cannot go anywhere else. You can try to go here and there. I was just reading a book this morning by Sadhguru, and in that it's written that once you make a mistake of sitting near me, you are set on the track of spiritual liberation. Either you can go joyfully, or we will drag you, but you cannot escape it now. That is a guru.
yes,
I can go on and on many tangents, but after meeting Sadhguru, well, what to say? His presence is something which I can't explain. It was a very, of course, every devotee, every shishya wants to meet him and touch his feet and take his blessings. And his blessings are there with everybody. But to physically meet a guru, that is very important, in my opinion, right? Because a guru will look at you, your karma, your karmic baggage, and he will bless you specifically to be able to release those specific baggages. Now, I don't know this as a proper fact whether a guru does this or not, but
yes,
after I've met Sadhguru, my tendencies, my patterns, my temptations, my illusions, suddenly in the last 1 week have broken like never before. Like, I have never been more light within me. And just his gaze, his eyes, he looked at me through and through, and he saw what needed to be cleared, and he did that. I don't know if that's a fact, but I feel it. Maybe
yes.
it's my illusion, but it works. But it works. So
Interesting.
very lucky to have found a real enlightened master. Finally, I don't know after how many lifetimes of same things, very lucky.
I mean,
And I
that's
and
interesting.
absolutely. And I don't think there is anything there is a I don't think there is any bigger blessing than being in the grace of a guru.
That's why I
And
think he is a guru. His name is Guru. Yes. Amazing. So when we now come back and talk about your mountains, so how did you train physically and mentally for such an extreme climb?
No, absolutely, yaar. Training for Everest is one of the hardest things you will ever do in your life, because climbing the highest mountains in the world, that is some of the most physically hardest
Mm.
activity you can do in the physical world. So the training has to always be harder than the real mountain. So I trained almost 2 years to climb Everest, and I would say uh, six 5 6 hours a day. Morning 3 hours, 4 hours, and evening 1.5 2 hours. Morning used to be spent in the mountains. I used to do trail runs. I used to do speed hiking. Sometimes I used to do hiking with weights, 25 30 kg up to I went. And evening I used to go to a local gym to work on my strength. So that's how the schedule used to be. And yeah, very, very dedicated you have to be. There is a saying, if you have to go to the top of the world, you have to build a top of the world mind and a top of the world
Yes.
body. So that's how hard you have to work. And of course, if you have a coach, that really helps you.
Mm.
And yeah, it was interesting.
Great. So now, when you get started to climb the Everest, sir, how and what are the emotions does your body feel?
No, it was very amazing to be there, yeah. 9 years of waiting, and I was finally there. No
Mm.
better feeling than this. And yes, when you are there, you have to be absolutely focused. You can't let emotions come in your way. You can't be too happy all the time, otherwise you will,
Yes.
get here and there. And when I was there, it was full focus.
Mm.
Hard times, of course, it's hard. You face bad weather and natural elements which not go your way, and that's how it is. So when we train for it, so we know how what to expect. And after spending 1 month on the mountain, when we finally reached the
Yes.
summit of Everest, that feeling was something else. It was 9 years of waiting that
Mm.
I had been waiting for this moment. And when it happened, 23rd May 2019 at 5 in the morning, that feeling was something else, man. I realized the power of a dream that morning. And I knew that if somebody like me with no background can climb Mount Everest, no matter what goals people have in their life, if they really want to do something, I'm sure they can do it, you know.
Great. So, can you share a moment where you doubted yourself but pushed through?
Yes, when I was on my way to the Camp 1, something was very wrong with me. I was feeling very drained, and I was like, if I don't feel good tomorrow, I will go back. All these things come in your mind because you are so tired physically that your
Mhm.
mind starts giving excuses.
Mm.
But next day I was feeling better, and I was like, no, 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 you can't give up right now. You are so just 2 days away from the summit of Mount Everest, and you can't give excuses like these. So, in hard times, you have to keep your head down, give it time. Hard times shall
Mm.
pass.
Amazing. So, what was the most difficult part of the climb that you faced?
It was coming down from
Of
Everest
course.
summit, because when you are climbing, you're focused, you're dedicated, you know, and when you reach the top, you are like, oh, I reached the top. But that is the time when you really need to be more and more focused, because then you have to come down, because the summit is just 50% of the way. You have to
Mhm.
make it down also. So coming down was tiring, challenging, and oh, it was hard, man.
Great. And you are here with us today, and no, you have experienced,
Yeah,
and no, that's great experience. I think that you had, and yeah.
no,
So,
absolutely. Yeah, I'm very lucky.
yes. So, were there any life-threatening moments during the climb?
Yeah, when I was coming down, I ran out of my oxygen cylinder, and I almost uh, died because of that. Thanks to my Sherpa, he had an extra cylinder and he changed it and gave it to me. Otherwise, I would have not been here. Thanks to him that I'm here today, Funaru Sherpa. And yeah, it was really touch and go kind of a moment.
Mhm. So now, after Everest, what became your next big goal?
Well, I'm more focused now on sharing this experience with people. In the sense, I lead treks and expeditions through my company, Phoenix Experiences, and I find my fulfillment in making people's dreams come true now. So that's been my next thing after climbing Everest, is to make people reach the Everest of their lives.
Mhm. So, how has climbing Everest changed your life and career?
Well, climbing Everest has been my biggest blessing here. It uh, made me something in the world, and because of that I was able to offer my skills, my services to help other people. And because of this, work also happened, like, business also came, and everything happened because of Everest. I'm able to impact people and I'm able to earn money. It's the best life.
Yes, you're living
Yeah,
your dream life.
it's
So,
absolutely.
what mindset shifts did you experience after achieving your dream?
No, that you have to be life is short. You really have to be nice to people, be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself, be kind to each other, and talk to everybody like it will be your last meeting with them, because one day that will be true.
So, what is fitness, sir, according to you? As we are speaking about this fitness,
A strong body, a stable mind, and stable emotions, and a high energy. That is fitness.
great. So, now, which adventure or peak are you planning to conquer next?
As I said, I want to take more and more and more people to climb bigger and bigger and bigger mountains. So now I'm completely focused on that. I'm leaving for Everest Base Camp next. I'm leading
Okay,
a group in 2 weeks, and the Himalayan climbing season is starting now. So I will be on various treks, various mountains, leading people to their dream mountains.
great. So, now as we
Yes.
come to the last part of our podcast, will be rapid round questions. So it will be rapid, so it's going to be
Sure. Bring
amazing.
it on.
Yeah, amazing. So your first question will
Bring
be
it on.
one word to describe the feeling of standing on Everest.
Relief.
Hardest physical challenge you have ever faced.
Climbing Annapurna 1 without supplementary oxygen.
Favorite mountain other than Everest.
Annapurna in Nepal.
Best lesson the mountains have taught you.
Life is short.
One thing people misunderstand about mountaineering.
Hmm. It's harder than it looks. It's higher than it looks. And it's farther than it looks. Three rules of mountaineering.
Favorite travel destination.
Maldives.
Dream climb you haven't done yet.
Ooh. Mount Trishul in
Hmm.
India. One of my dream climbs.
If not a mountaineer, what would you be?
Maybe in my father's business.
One book that changed your perspective in life.
No Shortcuts to the Top by Ed Wiesturs. He's a mountaineering legend. My favorite book of all time.
Advice to anyone chasing an impossible dream.
Don't give excuses. Don't be a little bitch. Don't cry. Find solutions.
Amazing, beautiful. This was
Yeah.
just amazing.
Thank you,
Very good.
brother, for
Thank you so
having me on
much.
your show. And let's do
Thank you.
this once again in a few months whenever you have something else to talk about. I'm available. You are a
Thank
nice
you so
young
much.
man on fire. Keep going, and may the grace be with you. And come for a trek sometimes with me. We'll
Yes,
go
sure.
sometimes. I will take you to some nice mountains. Yeah.
Yes. Let's meet now physically very, very soon.
Yes.
Waiting to meet you.
Yes.
So we couldn't now get in touch when we were in Coimbatore. So let's again catch up No, physically, and let's do something great.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, let's make it happen. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you
Thank
so much, audience, for being here and witnessing this podcast 14 with us. So, see you next on my podcast 15. So, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Thank you so much.